Now in this video, I am on page 59 with you guys, and I'm going to be helping you just translate and write some of the inequalities on this page. We're starting up here with number 19. It's kind of cut off here. We have that Tanya bought 5 rolls of wrapping paper for less than $30. So here's the 5 rolls of wrapping paper that she bought, and it's less than 30. Each roll was the same price, so if we use this inequality, we would be able to divide both sides by the 5 and see here that one thing of wrapping paper was less than $6. So A is the inequality that matches the scenario that we would eventually use to go on and solve to figure out the cost of one of the rolls of wrapping paper. Okay? All right, now we're over here on number 20. So which inequality represents this statement? We have that the product of 5 and n, or excuse me, the product of n and 5 is less than 20. So folks, the is now is part of is less than. So that's the thing that we circle away and say, okay, so it is less than 20. Now for the rest of it, when we scan for than, there is not one. So we can just translate for the product of 5 and n. And I wanted to remind you guys that we use a coefficient when we're trying to show multiplication for the product, okay? All right, which statement represents this inequality? Now, A shows a number n decreased by 12, so A would have n minus 12, and that's why it's out, because we want 12 minus n. B is out because it says quotient, and that means division, so far we're knocked out A and B. Now for C, 12 decreased by a number n, so 12 minus n, is at least 5, and I wanted to remind you guys that at least 5 does mean 5 or more, and this right here shows that it would be more than or equal to the 5. So that's why it's C. Now D says product of 12 and n, just so you know, and that would have a 12n like that, so D is also out. Now for number 22, once again we're just translating, and we have an n minus 10 is less than or equal to 45. So for the first answer, choice F, it says that a number n decreased by 10, so far so good, is at least 45. Now we just said though that at least, the at least means it'd be more than or equal to. So this symbol right here, it's a less than or equal to, and so that means we want to pick G, because at most means 45 or less. So if all of this stuff is at most 45, it's less than or equal to the 45. For number 23, Diane purchased a coat for $50 and some shoes. The total cost was less than $75. Which of the following represents the cost of the shoes? So here she is getting her coat plus the price of the shoes, and it says that the total cost was less than $75. So answer choice C matches that inequality. And now for number 24, Rhonda needs at least 6 yards of trim for a craft project. Now she has 2 yards on hand, so she's going to have to buy some plus the 2 that she already has, and we're told that that needs to be at least 6, so it has to be more than or equal to the 6. Now when we solve this, I just want to point out that if she already has 2 yards of trim, she doesn't need to buy those 2. So we'd subtract and we'd get rid of it, and when we solve, we would see here that Rhonda would need to buy 4 or more rolls, or excuse me, yards of trim for her project. So it's answer choice J. And that concludes the video on how to translate and write inequalities. Thank you.